Are you not sure if you should give your relationship another shot? Is he really the right man for you? Are you confused and need help? If so, then this video is just for you. Hi ladies, my name is Yeva. I am one of Greta's High Value Women coaches. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing 6 reasons on why you should keep trying with him and what you should actually be looking out for. Before we jump into today's video, make sure you take the self-awareness test to find out if you're a woman of high value or of low value, and you can find that test down below in the description section. Also, if you haven't heard yet, Greta has launched her book, Devoted Relationships. This is an amazing book where you can learn about how to have high-value relationships. I really do recommend checking it out. You can find it on her website. The link to that is down below in the description section. Also, if you want to get your hands on some amazing t-shirts or hoodies, go ahead and check out Greta's online store. You can find the link to that down below in her description section also. Without further ado, let's jump into the first point. And the first point, or the first tip, or the first reason is that every relationship has its hurdles. I'm going to be very honest with you ladies when it comes down to relationships. The truth is that every single relationship has its difficulties, and it is definitely quite normal to have them. Just like there are difficulties in life, there are difficulties in relationships also. There are good phases and there are bad phases in a relationship, or simply phases that might seem difficult. Of course, there should obviously be more good phases than there are bad phases. But if something is not going perfectly in your relationship, definitely don't feel like you are alone on this. You have to decide for yourself at the end of the day if you want to continue on with a relationship that does have difficulties. I am here to tell you that a lot of hardships change when a woman starts acting high value. So make sure that you ask yourself how you are actually acting in your relationship. How are you actually speaking or communicating to him, and what are you actually saying? Are you, for example, complaining all the time, or are you giving him too much of your attention? That would, of course, be low value behavior. Start acting as high value as you can. Give the relationship some time and see how the relationship will start changing and how the bad phases are going to start changing and solving themselves actually. My second tip is it's not about having a perfect relationship. As you might already guess, I'm here to tell you that there is definitely no such thing as a perfect relationship. And please, ladies, if you do this, then please stop doing so because it is very unhealthy and unnecessary. So if you start comparing, or if you are comparing your relationship to other people's relationship, that is not going to be helping you anyway, whether that is through social media or if it's the relationships of your friends. I personally feel the most important thing, or one of the most important things in a relationship, is for the relationship to develop and to move forward. If you, for example, see that your guy is trying to fix his own mistakes and work on himself and develop himself and the relationship, that is definitely a good sign, ladies. Does he, for example, want to talk to you about the relationship problems, or is even open to conversation? That is definitely a good sign. Or does he offer to do things together even though there might be difficulties in the relationship? That is also a very good sign from his part. Do you see him changing or him trying to change his actions? If so, that is also a very good sign that he wants to make it work. It is definitely not about trying to have a perfect relationship or to be perfect or to fix problems absolutely straight away fully. It's more so him and you working on yourselves and actually both wanting to make it work. So ask yourself, are you actually comparing your relationship to the relationship of other people? And is that bringing you down even more? And is that actually causing you more frustration and more problems in your own relationship? Because you start comparing what other people have and think, oh, I don't have this, then it's bad. And you bring in problems and friction yourself. If anything, look at how you are developing within yourself as a woman when it comes down to being high value. That's what you should work on and pay much more attention to. Work on that and your relationship will in many cases improve for the better. My third point is a very important one, and it's all about being realistic but not settling for less. You have to always remember, ladies, that not every man is the same. Not every man will have the same values and the same qualities, or even the same priorities in life. You have to ask yourself a very hard and actually quite serious question, and that is, do you want to spend your life with this man? And you have to ask it before things really do get serious. And that really is the truth. Of course, it's not an easy question, but it is a realistic one. At the end of the day, you're looking for a partner, or you want to be with a partner who you will be with your entire life, or at least that is something that a high value woman will want. When it comes down to the qualities of your guy, the good qualities have to overlay the bad qualities. And his bad qualities have to be something that you can really live with or potentially really live with. For example, is he someone that will never cook and really hates cooking and says that he really will never basically do it? You have to ask yourself, can I live with that? Or maybe he is a really messy person. A lot of men are, right? Women are too, but we're talking about men here. You have to ask yourself, can you live with that? Does he, for example, try to tidy for you even though he himself is messy? Does he try to clean up because he knows that that is what you desire? Or does he try to pick up after himself? If he does, that's great because he takes in what is important for you as well, which is living in a clean house, for example. So these are the little bits and pieces that may be negative when it comes down to a guy, that he doesn't cook or that he doesn't clean, for example. But if he has really good morals and is a very good person, well, quite frankly, that is much more important than the fact that he's not gonna cook or that he is potentially a messy person. And finding a really good person that you can rely on and trust, that is a very good quality. And that is a better quality than potentially being a good or a clean person. So be realistic about the qualities that he has and weigh out his bad qualities and his good ones. If he is not treating you well and he is breadcrumbing you, it means you are settling for less. Just to be able to say that you are in a relationship. My tip number 4, and something you need to think about as well, is what action is he taking? When it comes down to asking yourself the question of if you should be with him, it comes down to you looking at what action he is taking towards you. Obviously, words and promises are nice, we all know that, but it really does come down to what he actually does. What does he do towards you? Does he try to make you happy? The actions are the most important thing that you can look at, because then he does not lead you on with empty promises. And you don't hang on to words or put yourself in a position that would simply just lead to frustration. Remember that he invests in you with his actions. If he really means what he says, then he will always put action behind his words. If he's promising you that he's going to be changing, that is nice to hear, but you, as a high-value woman, would have to pay attention to the action that he takes and give it some time. The fifth thing that you have to look at is to ask yourself, do you want to be with him? Really ask yourself and be honest if you want to be with the guy. If you, of course, do not want to be with the guy, then of course the choice is very easy. But if you want to be with him and he wants to be with you too, then that is fine too, even if you do have difficulties. See how he is going to be changing towards you when you start acting more and more high value. The answer to your question of if you should keep trying with him will become much more clearer when you start acting more high value. Ladies, this is a very important point, and that is when you start acting high value, you will see small changes. Sometimes the changes are big and drastic when it comes down to the guy, and sometimes the guy starts making positive, small, subtle changes towards you, as in treating you better, being nicer to you. Make sure that you do not ignore these detailed changes, because it is not a coincidence that they are happening. They are happening because you are acting more high value. And if anything, it means that you should continue with that behavior. Continue behaving the high value way, because now you are behaving much more attractively towards your guy, and he is much more attracted to you on all levels. Keep being high value and the subtle changes will become bigger and bigger. Of course, over time, everything takes time, but they will grow. The sixth thing that I want to mention is you have to ask yourself, how does he see a relationship? It's very important to know how he sees a relationship and how he actually sees marriage. If his beliefs are that you guys are together until he falls out of love, it is very different to the famous belief of till death do us part. If you guys, or if he specifically, is together with you until you fall out of love, it can mean that if you start to face challenges in your relationship, that he is not gonna have your back. He is basically saying, or with this belief, he is thinking that I'm just not gonna be having it, right? For example, there was actually a client that got very sick and she was chronically sick, so she's going to be sick the rest of her life. And her guy and husband did not want to look out for her or look after her for the rest of her life. He saw it as, I only have this one life and I don't want to waste it, and I want to have the most out of it and the most fun and so on. And I want to make the best out of it. And he doesn't want to take care of a sick person all of his life. And then there's the other belief of till death do us part. So, which basically means in sickness and in health, you are with your partner. These are two complete opposite beliefs. And you have to know Because if you know your guy, then you know, or you have to basically think about it, what belief does your guy carry? It's very important to know what category your guy falls into when it comes down to this belief. It is extremely important. This is also something that Greta has written about in her book, Devoted Relationships. So if you don't have that book yet, make sure you get it. And for those that have it, they've already read this part on it. Essentially, your goal when it comes down to being with the guy is all about being able to count on him, because you don't know what life is going to bring. And a lot of people get sick and a lot of hardships happen. And it doesn't mean that it has to be health. It can be something else, like finances or a tragedy or whatever. Or you end up getting depressed, or something happens, right, that is not good or is unfortunate. You don't want to feel like you are 100% alone on this, right? And that he's gonna leave you because he's not gonna be having it. If you are in a devoted relationship, right, you are there for the other person. And he has to be there for you, and you have to be there for him. And that is the beauty of being in a relationship that is healthy and you're one in a respectful, happy, and loving way. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Greta's YouTube channel down below by clicking on the subscribe button. Please click the bell button to also be notified whenever she uploads a brand new video. Make sure you don't miss that. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up by clicking the thumbs up button, and also leave a comment and let me know what point you liked the most. Make sure to join Greta's free High Value Women's School to learn how to bring out the best in your man. It's a free Facebook group that you can join by clicking on the link down below. And if you would like to know how to get him to fall for you via text, games men play on women and how to handle them, how to get your ex back, how to set boundaries, or perhaps you have a hobby that you want to turn into an online business, well then Greta has these videos and more up for sale on her website, and you can find the link down below in the description section also. Also check out Greta's High Value Woman course, where you can learn how to be high value from A to Z. It's a huge course made up of 5 modules and 2 big bonuses. Go ahead and check that out. You can find it on Greta's website and the link down below as well. And if you would like some one-on-one coaching with Greta, me, or any member of Greta's team, go ahead and book us down below on Greta's website as well. We would be very happy to help you out in your situation. And if you don't follow Greta on her Instagram, make sure you do that as well. She posts a lot of really cool reels and content on there. Her Instagram is Ladies Relationship Coach. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Till then, have a great week. Bye.